Okay, good morning everyone. How are you today? Okay, so today we will learn about discussion text. So please pay attention to the video. Enjoy. Okay, so after we have talked about the latest issue in the Google Classroom about, yes, whether we have to go to school again in this pandemic or not. And we have discussed about that. And the second issue that I have here is the video games industries. So someone said, I believe video games give a lot of benefits. Playing video games is a good way to kill children's boredom. Now, do you agree or disagree with this issue? Okay, try to answer it by yourself, yeah, whether you agree or disagree. And then why do you agree and why you don't agree? Maybe after this, you can also share your opinion about this issue to the Google Classroom in stream, yeah. So feel free to discuss anything there and post your answer there, it's okay. So here I have the discussion text about pros and cons on video games. So let me read it for you. Nowadays, the video game industries are developing rapidly. They have become multi-billion-dollar industries. Video games have become an important part not only of children's lives but also of adults. Nevertheless, there are some arguments whether video games have a good or bad influence on children. People who believe in the good influence on video games say that video games kill children's boredom and refresh their minds after a tiring school day. Do you ever feel like this, class? These games encourage children to be more creative because the games challenge the children to win. The games sharpen their minds. On the other hand, video games discourage children from studying. They find it hard to concentrate on their studies because the games they play are on their minds during school. Some children even skip their extracurricular activities to play games. In addition, video games too often expose children to violence. 2 years ago, a student in the USA shot his teacher and some of his friends. Newspapers said that the boy was deeply influenced by violence in video games he used to play. And it is obvious that video games have so many more disadvantages than advantages. So parents should be careful in selecting appropriate games for their children. So class, we have to be wise when we are playing video games because the text said there are more disadvantages rather than the disadvantage. Okay, it's okay to play video game, but we have to be wise. Okay, so from the text, why do you think the writer write the text? Why the writer write the pros and cons about video games? Yeah, the answer is because the writer wants to share and state his or her opinion about the effects of video games. And from the text, the writer has the cons side. So the writer has talked more the disadvantages side rather than the advantage, right? Okay, so that is the reason. And here, what is discussion text then? Yeah, as you can see from the name, discussion text is to express our opinion about a certain issue, whether it is a pro or a con. So I think you already familiar with pro and con, right? Yes, pro is the good side or advantage, And then the con is the bad side or disadvantage of a certain issue or something. And the purpose of discussion text is to discuss an issue from several points of views and then to present arguments and information from differing viewpoints. So you can, when you want to talk about the disadvantages, you can also talk or discuss it in the advantage first. So you include the advantage and then after that you talk more about the disadvantage, or maybe you talk more about the disadvantage first and then the advantage, like that. So that is the purpose of discussion text class. Now here, the discussion text consists of first title ya. Title ya, you know what title is ya. Like when in this slide we have pros and cons of video games. Yeah, that is the title. And then issue. Issue is the issue that you discuss in the discussion text. Usually, issue is in the first paragraph and it starts with nowadays, blah, 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 is blah, 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 blah. Or this is common, blah, 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 or commonly, this, blah, 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 is blah, 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 like that. So issue starts with kind of words, nowadays, commonly, common, and it is on the first paragraph. And then after that, we have argument, for or pro, and then the elaboration. So you discuss about the pro or the advantage, and then you explain more in the elaboration. And then argument, after you have the pro, you will have the con. And then the elaboration. Elaboration means you have to emphasize it. Jelasin lagi. Kenapa kamu seperti itu? Kenapa kamu tidak setuju? Kenapa kamu setuju? Like that. And then the last is conclusion. In the conclusion, usually there is a suggestion or recommendation from the writer. Like, so the government should blah, 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 or yeah. You can find the suggestion or recommendation on conclusion part. Okay, class, I think that's all for today, for today's material. And don't forget to submit your attendance and reflection of today's lesson through Google Forms link. It is available on Google Classroom. I will post it after this, after the discussion, after the class ends, and then after that, continue to do the small quiz. So just like previous meeting, in the same Google form of your attendance and reflection, you will have the quiz. You will have 10 questions with 2 texts. You have to read it carefully so you will get 100. And lastly, after you finish your Google form, the task is choose one of these issues below. Whether you agree or disagree. Here I have 5 issues. The first one, we have riding motorcycle to school. Do you agree or disagree? And then issue 2 is smoking in school. Oh, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with this issue? And then issue 3 is not taking national examination anymore. Do you agree or disagree? And then issue 4, using social media such as Instagram and WhatsApp for learning. What about your opinion? Do you agree or disagree with this issue? And the last issue we have going to the mall during this pandemic. Do you agree or disagree? And you have to respond to this issue one, yeah. Choose only one by recording your voice. Okay, so please record your voice to respond this issue, one issue that you choose, and then upload it to Google Classroom. Later, I will provide the space for you to upload the voice note or voice recording, and it has to be 1 minute long at the maximum. Jadi maksimal 1 menit voice recordingnya, tidak boleh lebih. Dan jangan juga terlalu sebentar ya, kalian udah kelas 12. And then, ya, maksimal 1 menit. Please use this format to rename your file recording. Class underscore name, underscore number ya, number here, number 5. Okay, here, number, and then full name and issue. So for example here, you are from 12 IPS 2 underscore your number, for example here 5, and then your full name underscore issue 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Please do rename your file ya, please dikasih nama filenya, or I will not accept your recording. Jadi tolong harus formatnya seperti ini, nomor ya kelas ini. Kelas, lalu nomor absen, terus pokoknya harus dikasih nama filenya. Kalau enggak, tidak akan diterima. Okay. So, thank you class for your attention and participation. And if you have any question, as usual, just feel free to ask and post it in the Google Classroom. And see you on Google Classroom after this. Okay, bye-bye.